Well, good Saturday morning. Hope you're doing well. What a beautiful, beautiful day in the neighborhood. The neighborhood is East Nashville. Greg Pogue, 101 with, presented by Freeman Webb, Roy's Meat Service, the iconic Roy's Meat Service. And I just saw News Channel 5 meteorologist Henry Rothenberg inhale a entire biscuit, sausage, egg.
Oh, my God.
It was
so
like
good.
one bite.
He looked at me. He's like, do you need something to eat? I'm like, I already ate it. And he looks down.
A little bit. Yep.
There we go.
And so, how you doing, man?
I'm good.
Finally.
I know.
I mean, you big-timed me for years now, and, you know.
I'm pretty sure we had a date set, and then you big-timed me because somebody better confirmed. Somewhere back in the fall.
Really?
There was someone with was it when Vanderbilt or
I didn't get no way. I didn't kick you
I think I got bumped.
No,
I got bumped.
No. Well, I'll do that to a Cardinals fan. Let's get this out of the way right now. Okay. 12 World Series.
11.
Okay.
But who's counting?
You. Okay, 11 World Series, none in the modern era of baseball.
You got one in 2011.
Like I said, I mean,
when was the Brewers' last World Series?
Well, they've been relevant, 8 years in a row of the playoffs.
You know, Billy Beane once said, if you don't win the last game of the season, no one cares.
Well, I know that. So, and I got a lot of people like you I don't like.
I take that with love.
But every time we see each other, we just start like, this is where you start.
But look, I mean, you guys are technically, a game ahead at 25 and 17 because we're 26 and 18.
Yeah, I think we're both at 2.5 back of the Cubs.
Yeah, which, I mean, no matter what, as long as the Cubs don't go, I'm happy.
Well, I'm the other way around, okay? Because Craig Counsell, I mean, I don't like the Cubs either.
True.
However, before Putin invaded the Ukraine, I would have been for Russia before I would the Cardinals, okay? So we got that set?
Yeah, hey,
the
look,
Cardinal way. Yeah, how's that working?
We've got a new regime now. Hopefully it'll put us back on track.
The fourth new regime.
You've had the Brewers way for us the last couple of years where we just we get too good, so we got to find a way to blow it up.
Wow.
But no, it's, it is fun, man. Baseball, if the stars come to fruition here, I'm going to be really interested to see realignment with it all. But I will say the Central right now, there's nothing like the NL Central. I would take that back. The AL East and the NL Central, I think, are just two of the best divisions.
Well, and they are baseball, but look at you talk about tradition. Cubs, Cardinals.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, Reds, Pirates.
Yeah.
The lovable. But they're all above 500 right now.
And even because the Brewers were an AL team for many years, but it was
the '82 World Series. I went to all 7 games, and
it was a few weeks before I was born.
I still roll over and call out Joaquin Andahar in my sleep.
Yeah,
so, I told you we could spend an hour on this.
We could, but I mean,
how you doing, man?
I'm doing great.
You look great, man.
I appreciate it.
With the
airplane engine cufflinks.
You got cufflink. You just come from set, right?
I did. I got dressed up for you, Greg.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I get that.
Came from set. We're doing great. Things are great, honestly. Excited today. I'll be at my first arena football game up with the Cats. Effingham Bank, what a beautiful arena.
Yeah.
I mean, I miss having you guys right there downtown where you could walk across the street, but, I mean, what a great venue.
That's right.
Built in Clarksville.
Thank you setting the plug up this afternoon at 4 o'clock.
Yep.
The Cats home game, Oceanside Bombers, San Diego, Oceanside Bombers, and coming in and you're coming up. Our Cats captains, that's K and K, Cats captain, both with K, is Kevin Dyson and Derek Mason.
All right.
And you are going to be in the suite with them.
Hanging out with them.
I'm hooking up you, man.
You are. But two great former Titans that I grew up, when they moved here. I mean, I remember the Oilers when I was in Memphis and going to a game, and it was always the competition, Oilers, Memphis Tigers, who could draw more in attendance. And, but it's going to be such a pleasure to sit next to those two guys because they've done so much for the community.
Oh, yeah.
And then Coach Mason, I guess.
MTSU's. We could have both Derek Masons, former Vanderbilt, MTSU coach Derek Mason, and his family are coming up. So big party.
And what better way to spend a hot, humid afternoon than in a nice AC environment of F&M Bank Arena cheering on the Cats.
I wonder when we get around talking to weather, but thank you for interjecting that. Right,
hey, I'm here for you.
But yeah, and that's Henry Rothenberg. I can't even.
You've only known me forever.
But yeah, Henry Rothenberg, our guest. Henry, how funny is it that the job you do, you get credit or blamed for the good and the bad?
You know, I always
shoot the messenger,
it
right?
Yeah. We're rarely thanked, if ever thanked, but we're always blamed.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's always comical because, everyone thinks 24/7 we're going to know the weather. Like even when you're on vacation, and the times I don't, it's like, well, come on, you're supposed to know. It's like, oh, okay, well, hang on, let me look at my phone real quick, the same way you would, and look at what the Weather Service has there or what one of the local stations puts out. But no, it's always comical when folks try and come up and say you got this wrong, and it's like, you weren't watching us this morning, were you? Because it's another forecast from somewhere else. So I will say the one good thing about social media and digital, I can pull it up and fact check it.
Right away,
yes.
right away, yeah. But and I always think you guys now have a crutch. Okay,
all right.
Let's look at the models.
Okay.
What all the models are saying. The models are saying. The only models I know about, you're not talking about. Okay, but but the models say. How do we're going to get the history of why?
Okay.
But how?
Okay.
How do you do it?
We're diving in deep on that. So the thing about forecast models, and you're right. We're like, hey, the models are saying this. The models say that. You've got various forecast models out there. We've got, the American model, the European. We've got our in-house model, the graph. There's the the high rapid refresh model, high resolution rapid refresh, and it's a puzzle. Every day when I go in, I'm looking, okay, what is happening right now across the country? Then I also match up each model to see which one is matching best, and I also compare it. Okay, which one from what I saw yesterday performed the best? It comes down, I think, to, the educated guess at times on weather of all these models are out to lunch. And we have a scenario like this. No, this means we're going to have this, this, and this. None of the models are picking up on it right now. So it's a gut feeling. Like you in sports. You can look when you're calling maybe, a TSU game or something like that. You can see it's like, I think they're going to actually do this play right here because you've seen it 100 times. Same thing in weather. The only difference is most people are like, yeah, I don't care about all that. I just want to know what it's going to do at my house at this time.
Right. And weather right now, I mean, and I look at all everybody here, Rory will come on and go 5 minutes of the top 2 or 3 hits, and boom, there's weather in the open. Yep. Right? That didn't used to happen.
No, I mean, it's trying to give you what you need right then because the reality is, we're always on the go, society. So we want to give you what you need right out the gate. But if you want a little bit more in depth, then you can stick around for that. But we've also got the digital platforms that we're putting on. I mean, it's, not to sound curmudgeon on this. I miss the good old days when you just maybe had like a website and that was a big deal, but otherwise it was just putting it on TV because everything you got to keep updated now. It's like, you got to have a checklist on that. Mm-hmm. I mean, everything's got to be updated these days. Digital, web, you name it. We're doing it.
Every social media. Yeah, you got to. Yeah,
yep.
That's just like the business we're in. You can't turn around without saying, "Hey, we turned around."
Yep. You know, and with this business, social media, my cousin, who's the director of team travel for the Minnesota Twins.
Really?
So
the Brewers just beat the Twins last night.
Yeah, we won't talk to him about that one today. But I remember a couple of years ago, they were playing the Cardinals, and Dad and I were up in St. Louis, and they had an off day. They came in on a Monday, off day, so we got to go to dinner that night. And the trade deadline was at midnight that night. And Mike is looking at his phone occasionally, and he's like, guys, I promise I'm not being rude. Sometimes I'll hear before I actually get word someone's been traded, and he's got to get all the travel set up for it.
Yep.
So it amazes me, it's the good and the bad of having these smartphones and social media. Sometimes that's how the players or the team or the managers will find out something's done. But then it's also like, that's not really efficient because if he's sitting at dinner and having to look at Twitter, then why isn't somebody calling and saying, hey, we just traded this person?
So where's the competition? Yourself.
You're competing with yourself.
Yeah, I mean, seriously. I know that sounds sort of flippant, but you've got every vehicle there. Everybody's trying to tell you what we need to know, right? Yep. So who do you compete against?
When the red light is on, I still look at it the old school way. I'm competing against all and we've got awesome meteorologists in this market. One in particular, Katie Morgan and I were classmates, so she's over at Fox 17. We went to Missouri together. Her husband's a director at my station.
Yeah.
We all, I look at them as the competition. I look at the folks.
Davis Nolan. I mean, my God.
Davis, who's retired but still active.
Yeah.
And he's a legend in himself. I look at also, the folks Nash Severe on Twitter, who they're great people. I compete when that light is on. But I always tell people, when the weather's bad, do I want you getting it from us? Absolutely. But I only care that you're getting the important information that you need to stay safe. I don't care how you get it. I'd rather it be us, but whatever you're comfortable doing, that's how I want you to get it.
Henry Rothenberg, our guest, meteorologist, News Channel 5 here, just and a Cardinal fan. We'll get past that. We already are coming up to
winning
the
ways.
Yeah,
winning ways.
Oh, the Cardinal way. So,
y'all need to bring the slide back down in Milwaukee to where he goes into the big glass of Miller Lite.
Well, that got politically incorrect, right? I mean, we want it actually into a beer mug, and then bubbles would come out. But
I don't like that went away.
Yeah, I don't. That's
neither here nor there.
Well, yeah, back when they had it, they hit a lot of home runs.
Yeah.
So. Do you ever go on the air and say, I don't know? That's a good question, isn't
it? In a way, you once in a blue moon have those times, and it's just saying, there's a lot to this puzzle that's left to be desired, and trying to put it all together. So you may have time saying, and that's when we're like, just stay tuned to the forecast because it will change. It's going to change when it's not just a clear pattern. So I would say, yeah, there have been times that we will hint at that, but it's okay to be honest because what we do is an inexact science. And, when I'm talking to kids at school, the one thing I always tell them, well, the two things. Number one is there's one bad question. There's an awful question out there. It's the question you do not ask. Because asking questions, that's how we learn.
Yep.
And I always tell them there's at least 5 other classmates in there that probably have the same question. And, yeah, some may giggle if you ask it, but I promise you're doing a favor for a bunch more of the kids. The other thing is, too, that, much like a student and the kids when they go to school, I go into work every day. I analyze all this data. I give a presentation. And then tomorrow is when I get my grade. How did I do? And sometimes, like on a test, you may miss something in the forecast. In the forecast, maybe I said it's going to rain all day, and it's just cloudy. It doesn't rain. Well, I'll go back and look. Okay, did I miss something? And it's like, nope, there was just the models indicated all this. They just didn't hint at this, and everything I saw of what was happening now was matching up that we'll get rain, but the air mass here at the surface was just too dry or whatever. So, yeah, we'll have times like that, but you can use it always as a learning experience. Now, Thankfully, the times are far and few between for all of us, but yeah, if anybody's telling you they're batting a 1,000, then I don't know.
Well, you mentioned the answer to every unasked question is always no.
Yep.
So
questions are important, but it's important to tie it into not only the folks listening today, but like I said, even for the kids when I tell them it's the same thing. Even in your profession, you got to go back and sometimes look and be like, there's something in my notes that maybe I missed it or whatever. We got to go back.
That's why I don't gamble.
Yeah, well, gamble responsibly. I don't remember that 800 number off the top of my head anymore.
Yeah, I got the Digger hotline.
Yeah.
That way I'm burying myself. I don't want to electrocute myself while I'm burying myself. So anyway, Henry Rothenberg is again. Look, there's Dane right East Nashville. Big orange Dane.
I was going to say he's got his Vol shirt on too. He's ready to go.
He's about a par 5 from here.
Okay.
So we have an audience here. Hey, we're hanging out 101 with Greg Pogue, presented by Freeman Webb. This is Roy's Meat Service. All this on 94.9 The Fan. The audience has grown.
They have, and we're talking baseball, and they agree that being a Brewers fan is no way to go around
they
life.
didn't agree. They said they're a Braves fan. They didn't agree with that and everything. And, you have, who cares what, what was it, the 40s, what was the Cardinals, the Gas House Gang, right?
I don't remember that nickname.
Well, what? You're a Cardinals fan? Is that? Or you go ahead, Mr. Phonehead. What was the 40s? The Cardinals, the Gas House Gang. If I get this right, and you're a Cardinals fan, and you don't know this,
the colorful ragtag nickname for the Cardinals baseball team that dominated the National League in the 1930s. Most notably winning the 34 World Series.
The Gas House Gang.
Here's the thing. I don't have to remember all of our nicknames because we've had so many being such a dominant franchise.
Well, that's fine. But, I mean,
this
is one of the most
World Series
well,
in Major League
but
Baseball.
I'm a Brewers fan telling you specific historical notes of the team you profess to follow that you don't know. We're taking you over.
You're busy trying to find ways to discredit and not like the
Gas
other
House
team.
Gang.
As a Cardinal fan, we just win.
Since when?
I mean,
Since when? When's the last season you were over 500?
It's
been a minute.
Been two
seasons. A couple.
It's been two.
When's the last time you've been in the playoffs?
It's been
3
seasons.
3?
I think it was 3 seasons.
The Gas House Gang. Come on, man. That's like not knowing who Stan Musial is. The only I'm going to come over. Don't listen. The only Cardinal thing that I own that I gave to my son last time I went to Busch Stadium. As a matter of fact, I'm going up there.
You are?
The 6th, 7th. I'm seeing 3 games in 2 days.
So,
yeah.
I mean, God, that's a lot of losing in 48 hours.
What is wrong with you? We're just having a casual conversation. Meteorologist Henry Rothenberg. I don't know what his name is. Why? What do you do what you do? Why?
Why do I do it?
Yeah, why? Where did it start?
So when I was little, I was terrified of storms. I'd run and hide in my mom and dad's room. And then when I was about 6 or 7 years old, my cousin took me outside during a thunderstorm. We stood at the edge of their carport under a tree. And we got struck by lightning.
Well, that explains
that
a
last
lot of
part's not true.
That explains a lot of things.
Yeah, but no, we should have been. Knowing what I know now, it's like that was the dumbest thing we could do. But something about that,
How old were you?
I was 6 or 7.
Really?
Yeah, and something about it stuck, and my fear became fascination. And my mom saw it really early on with me and just embraced it. And I remember when I was going into high school, even. And, you're
was it in Memphis?
In Memphis.
Yeah.
And
where'd you go to high school?
So I graduated from Lausanne School, which, they've come a long way in sports since I was there.
And it's called the NIL.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But our college counselor, Mom, you're sitting there at the time, I don't know if they still do this, but you'd sit there with the college counselor. What are your interests? Because they try and help you, guide you through high school to key in on that too, and prepare you for college. And Mom was like, this kid is glued to the window when there's weather, which I am. And so the encouragement from my mom and from my dad just pushed me into that. When I was a junior, I emailed all the stations in Memphis, got responses, got invited down to some. But Todd Demers, the morning meteorologist at WREG, who just celebrated 40 years at WREG last month, and is still a dear friend to this day, still a mentor to this day. But he took me under his wing. So every day that we had a rotating block schedule, every day that study hall was first, I'd get to the station at 4:30 in the morning. This was in the good old days when the news started at 6, and shadow him, follow him, and then I'd go to class. Or when we were off school, I'd go. Or if he had to work nights out, I'd go in and took everything in I could. And the rest is history. It just continued to roll from there. I got my first on-air job my junior year at University of Missouri, not at KOMU, which is the NBC station they owned, because they had at the time a rotation 8 deep for weather, and it was the folks there that were like, look, why don't you look at this station because they actually need a freelancer right now. Otherwise you won't get that many at-bats here. And a few months later, I took over for the weekend person that graduated, and he went off to Topeka, Kansas. And so then I got that job, and then after college I got the chance to go home to Memphis. And, it's awesome doing what you love doing and doing it in some really fun places too. and doing it in front of family. I mean, Nashville's home. I grew up coming here when Opryland was Opryland. I remember good old Opryland, the theme park, a.k.a. daycares. Parents could drop you off.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
yep.
Dane here and Big Joe Dubin could tell you exactly where to sneak in, right? They knew where
you guys when I was in middle and early high school.
They knew exactly how to come back around it and get back in it for free. I mean, they knew
I loved it. It was so much fun. And I'll tell you also with growing up coming here, I mean, I remember coming to Vanderbilt games, football games when they were playing Memphis, because my parents are all University of Memphis alum, but I got family that's Vanderbilt alum too. Coming into that stadium, I remember seeing the Vanderbilt Georgia game in 1999, where Vanderbilt ran a fake on 4th and 23 from their own, their 15-yard line or something, and they were beating Georgia at the time.
Oh, I know.
And
I was there.
And then that night, my dad and I went to the Preds game. But, yeah, that game.
Like there was at their own 20-yard line.
It was ridiculous.
It was Woody Woodham for one of his worst moments.
It was because that game, I mean, Vandy was in control, and they did that fake, and Georgia turned around and ran with it. But, I've got great memories here. My parents actually, as of yesterday, have closed on their place here, so they will be here full time. My sister lives here. This is home. Tennessee in general is home, but Nashville. I remember old Nashville, and I love old Nashville. But I do love some of the growth happening and the fun things that we're getting here.
And the cool thing about it is Roy's Meat Service. And I say this: this is where the old East Nashville and the new East Nashville can come and hang.
Yes.
And I always say this: hey, you move here, not necessarily this neighborhood, but you move here for the vibe.
Yeah.
Don't change then you come and try to change the vibe. This is what attracted you, and now you're trying to change it to fit your narrative.
Yes.
Leave me alone.
And that part I agree 100% on. I miss places like Rotier's. I loved getting
we can sit here.
French. I mean, I'm happy they're at Bridgestone now. You can still get your, the signature burger on French bread. But, I miss that. You still got Elston Place, thankfully. And then, of course, if you want to get something good to eat real quick, run in here to Roy's. Or if you want to get some good meat to throw on the grill, Memorial Day is coming up.
Yeah, good plug.
Come on out to Roy's.
It's hard to believe next weekend's Memorial Day weekend anyway.
Yeah.
Henry Rothenberg, our guest here, 101 with Greg Pogue. We're at Roy's Meat Service, presented by Freeman Webb. The University of Missouri. Who in their right minds thinks I'm going to go out and chase tornadoes? But you were part of their chase team. Mm-hmm. I guess that's the way they call it, right?
Storm chase team.
The Mizzou Storm Chasers. I've seen movies about this.
Yes.
Why?
Why not?
Well, no, okay. Why not? Maybe death. Maybe at the top of the list. Mangling. Maiming. I don't know.
I will say, what I love, and I still love chasing. I don't love what can happen when a populated area is hit. But there is nothing to me, from a scientist's perspective, more fascinating than watching a blue sky turn into a thunderstorm and, in an open field where it could be a tornado too, where no one, property, life, anything like that could be harmed. But when we did that, the coolest part about it was, our professors, especially when you're in the higher level classes, okay, when you get back, you're basically writing a report on what you saw. And what better way to learn than by firsthand, not just knowledge, but the experiencing it, seeing it, going through it, learning from the upperclassmen and from the professors that have done this for a while, like how to do this, how to stay safe. And I think on TV it makes me a better meteorologist because I'm not telling you this is what they say it sounds like, this is what they say you're looking for. I'm saying this is what it sounds like, this is what we're looking for, because I've been through them. And having that understanding of tornadoes and having experienced countless tornadoes, I think it also adds a sense of calm, whereas tornadoes can be scary, and I get that. And I always look at it, my job is you can be afraid of it, I just want you to be not terrified, paralyzingly terrified of what's going on. And so that's why I love doing it. And, it's St. Louis, Busch Stadium. 2006, the year Busch Stadium opened, the tornado that went by downtown.
It was God speaking.
It was, saying we missed the old stadium. But, yeah, you know the video I'm talking about? You can look it up on YouTube. Yeah. One of the security cameras caught, and there's, like, people going in the concourse as it was going by, and there's a trash can that it perfectly hit the flow, like, between the exterior of the stadium and then where one of the entrances to the lower level is. And a fan's going by, and I mean the trash can took him out.
Well, no one got killed.
No one was killed.
Good, because I'm glad it hit. And no one got killed.
Well, they did go on to win the World Series that year.
Oh, was that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay. Well. Okay. Fine. Touche. Let me say, Henry Rothenberg is our guest. What's it like? Seriously, I mean, all right, let me back up one step. The two Twister movies, how real and how next question.
Comedies. They're comedies.
Okay. I mean,
but they're cool movies. The effects are great. The acting's great. There are some incredible meteorologists. In fact, in the Twisters, the sequel that came out a year or two ago, you see an on-air forecast. A lot of times it's from KFOR in Oklahoma City, and Mike Morgan's a longtime chief there. Well, Emily Sutton, who's on that in there, too, doing a forecast. I took her on her first storm chase at Missouri. And
your first date?
It wasn't a date. We were all on a team. But Emily was a year younger than me. Yeah. And Emily, because she was in my vehicle, the one that I was in charge of and driving, and I remember she was so torn. She was supposed to sing the national anthem that night for the kickoff to Greek Week, which is basically the spring version of homecoming at Mizzou. And she's like, I'm torn. I want to see, because it was a high chase day, and she got her first tornado that day. And she actually was going through this, and I was like, Emily, if you just look, and we actually called her Rosie, I was like, if you just call and say you're under the weather, you're not lying. So she said she was under the weather. And then somewhere out there, we have video of her singing the national anthem with the tornado behind her. Because it's like, go on and sing it now. Like, and it wasn't hitting any homes or anywhere at that point. But it is an adrenaline rush. It is. It can also be scary when you see it going into an area that is populated. You're hoping that all the information that you're relaying to the weather service, to emergency managers, to first responders, because we all can communicate with each other, is getting out in time and that people are heading to their safe places, because we can't control it. That's the one thing you have to accept early on. I am not in control of what's going on. It's kind of like being a passenger on a plane. You're not in control, and that freaks a lot of people out. But not being in control of weather but knowing what it's potentially going to do is, there's only so much we can do, but you always want to do more. But it's an intense experience. It's very. You feel the hair stand up on the back of your neck a lot when you see them. You
ever in the middle of it go, oh, what the heck am I doing out here? I mean, I thought this was, because, you could die.
You can. 2020, actually, it was the one time it was, and I'll even quote something from my mom and my sister. When 2020 happened, we were live on air at Channel 5, and I was at the back loading dock. And it was at first the lightning, the silhouettes of the tornado lighting it up when it was ironically near Tune. And then as it came closer and then we saw the scoreboard at First Horizon explode is when we moved back inside, but we were still watching it from there. And that was a moment because I couldn't actually see the full width of it. That was a moment of, okay, afterwards looking at it, it's like, that was a little close.
Yeah.
That was a little close. And my voice got very high pitch, as my mom and sister pointed out. And also that tornado, the only text I did, I sent one to mom and dad saying, we just got hit by a tornado. I'm fine. You won't hear from me for a while. My sister saw that coverage on CNN the next morning, and an attorney at her office, she was living in Atlanta, then goes, isn't that your brother on CNN right now? That was how she found out.
Yeah. Henry Rothenberg is our guest, News Channel 5 meteorologist, 101 with Greg Pogue. More with Henry coming up right here on 94.9 The Fan. Sometimes I just don't want to talk over the music. Just listen.
This is a quality song.
Yeah.
Country Road, Take Me Home.
101 with Greg Pogue, presented by Freeman Webb. We are at Roy's Meat Service, East Nashville. Our guest, Henry Rothenberg, the meteorologist at News Channel 5. And I got some questions.
Okay. Hey, can I give a quick congrats, though, by the way? Our own Leland Statham, senior meteorologist Leland Statham, the GOAT.
Yeah.
Now a grandfather.
I saw that. We're friends on like Facebook. I saw him holding the baby yesterday.
So I wanted to get that in real quick.
Good Lord,
too.
what a crew you guys got over there. Leland and Nikki D and you, and then
Katie, and Brittany,
and Katie and Katie now is just stepped right in and is killing it.
She's doing great. She's going to be out. She's been very open. She's going on medical leave for. She had 2 cysts on her. I think it was her ovaries too, but she's been posting about it because she's trying to encourage others to listen to your body.
But what a
her
on-air persona.
She's great.
What does it take to be, I mean, because I just named 5 names, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every one of you have a personality to yourself. And unlike like John Burton, who has no personality, like a box of rocks,
Johnny Nashville.
No, that's
Love
fine.
Me some Johnny Nashville.
John and I did a radio show together, and you were our meteorologist. You were our resident meteorologist, and this is the payback. But it takes TV today. You got to present, but you got to be presentable. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and it's a visual medium, and we're fortunate because each of us, and I'm going to even put our freelancer Matt Stevens in that too, who local guy, grew up down in Franklin and got smart, went and has an energy commodity business now, which is his full-time job. So he's decided I was going to make real money. But no, I love having him help out with us. Interned with us, too, in the early 2000s before Ron Howes retired. And everybody has their own personalities, which is great. And it's trying to be yourself and not trying to imitate somebody else. And you just kind of figure it out along the way on how to do that. And, sometimes remembering we're human, too. You may have an allergy attack and your eyes look all swollen and puffy. Well, you know what? If I'm able to do the job, I'll still go on air looking like that because, hey, everybody else just about's dealing with the same thing right now. So it's definitely having a thick skin. It's definitely also not being not letting social media dictate. No,
if you worry about that, man, you're just
Social media
you can
is
just jump in that hole and bury yourself if you want to.
Yeah, and so but social media is great in the sense of it's so awesome. Because I was a part of this business just before social media took off. So I got to see the, quote, good old days. Mm-hmm. But it's really cool to also now have these people that we can interact with, too, these viewers, and they can get us photos super easy of incredible weather or whatever. And just letting them know, hey, I'm a person.
TV in and of itself is I come from the print background, right?
I mean, you've got
or
the
radio.
Face. Yeah, you got a face for radio and a voice for print.
Okay, see? I'm trying to be nice. I mean, what are you doing here?
Come on, you set that up.
Hey, AT. Well, that's. I hope everybody listening enjoy the show. We'll flip it over to network.
Come on, you underhand.
But you know what I'm talking about. It's a different animal when you're seen because I'm sitting there at 10, 20, 10:30, East Coast 11, news at 11, blah blah blah, and you're in my office, you're in my bedroom.
I'm acting like it's the middle of the day. So, I think one of the things that you can relate to as well in this sense is it's somehow you just train your mind and kind of trick it. Like when you're calling a TSU game, when y'all were like Eastern Washington, was that 2 seasons ago?
Oh, Lord, yeah.
And
listen to you, the red field.
Yeah, the kickoff was at 9:30, I think our time.
Yeah.
And so,
and we had an hour and a half delay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And Brad Hopkins was doing the game with me, and of course Jeff Fisher was there because of his son and Eddie George, and that's.
But it's just one of those things. I think you kind of trick your mind, and you're not thinking about it. But man, the second that the red light goes off, so to speak, that's when the adrenaline's gone. It's like, oh, it's time to go to bed now.
How do you? It's you and the camera.
It's me and the camera now. You don't have camera people anymore because they're all robotic.
Okay, but don't make love to the camera, right? Okay, you've heard that. I mean, okay. Don't. How do you? Because it just. I've done a lot of radio. Obviously, I'm doing it right now, and even with you, I'm sitting here like we're having a conversation and people are listening to our conversation.
Right.
We're not focused on them and what they're we're just they're sort of engaged. There's a difference though with you because I'm seeing you.
And I think I do still can relate it to even radio and what you do and what anybody else does. Maybe somebody's an investment banker that's listening and they can sit there and do numbers left and right, and you just train yourself to do it. Like, I don't think about it, if that makes sense. I just get up there because I love doing it. And whenever I'm doing it, I also want to be like, okay, am I doing this and explaining this in a way, if I'm watching the TV and the TV were on mute, could I still, even if I wasn't a meteorologist, could I still understand, oh, it's going to be hot tomorrow. Oh, it may rain today. And that's what the prep time before the show, after you do the forecast, is for. And then otherwise, you just don't. I think when you think about it, you will psych yourself out, and that's when you can make mistakes.
How difficult is it? Because what we're seeing is you and the graphics behind you.
And then
it's over. You're looking to your right, and there's just a green board behind you.
The green screen. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And so, how long does it take to get used to that?
That was one that actually I always kind of picked up on pretty quick, and maybe it was just because the desire and passion want to do it, but. People say it's like looking at yourself in a mirror, but reversed, and I never thought about it that way. And I think if I did, that would have
I'd look at myself in the mirror reversed, and I'm skinny all of a sudden. I don't know what happens. Go ahead.
That's a different reverse. Yeah. You need to teach me that trick, though. But
it's imagery.
It's imagery.
Yeah.
Okay. But no, you just. I think it's kind of like anything that you have. Repetition with, like, there is you don't think about it. And again, when you love doing what you do, I think you're eager to get out there and start it when you're young, and then now you're just, because I love doing it, it just, you don't think about it.
Tell me about the clicker.
The clicker is
'cause everybody's got that little. I would be like in the next week, right? Here's tomorrow's forecast, and it'd be June 18th.
So the clicker has advanced so much since I got in this business. There are 8 buttons on that clicker now, and having to remember where they all are. There's one button that advances the graphics, but let's say we're short on time. There's what we call a hot button on it that I can jump straight to the 7-day. There's one that can switch between my weather computer sources, because we have 5 systems at Channel 5. They're all the same system, but 5 computers with that system that allow us to have multiple Mets on air during severe weather and things like that. And then you've got some, like, when we make things jump out of the graphics, or when we're making our Skynet sites change all around town. It's just trying to remember which one is which. That was probably the hardest part at first. So if you ever see us kind of like looking down and talking, and it's because it's like, wait, yeah, here's where that button is.
I don't even want to know what would come up on mine. Probably something to get us fired.
And I'll say this too. It almost happened to me today. And I was like, oh, this would be a first. But you always have that video where somebody, like, they're changing hands with the clicker, or it just slips out of their hand. It's like, I have to bend down and pick this thing up right now. There's no way around it. Yeah. And so that's the other thing, too. But, no, those clickers are that would probably be the toughest part on it. In all seriousness.
Yeah, Henry Rothenberg, our guest here, 1-on-1 with Greg Pogue. I got a theory.
Okay. That the Cardinals will win the World Series?
Oh, to see what it's you hope you enjoy buying your tickets today for the Cats. you just went to face value, okay? Tornadoes in our area. Am I right or wrong? It just seems like all the major ones, especially the one that started like at Tune Airport and ended up in Cookeville, follows the Cumberland River. And where I live on, I call it, I hate to say it, the safe side of Percy Priest Lake. I think, so I'm on the backside of it when everything usually comes from the west, right?
Right.
And I think it splits because it goes over water and dissipates, and it's usually a little bit to the north or a little bit to the south. But I just think every one of our major tornadoes have been along the path of the Cumberland River. Am I right or wrong?
For the most part. There have been a couple that haven't followed it, but overall, the 3. There was one back in like 1917, 1929, 1998, and then 2020. They were all a very similar path, came right over here to East Nashville, too. Our topography plays a little bit of a role because you start to get into the hills, which can shift kind of the winds as they go up in elevation and things. The myth is that hills and mountains can prevent tornadoes. They can strike anywhere. And it's not impossible for the area that you live in to be hit. But it's just to pinpoint that exact location.
But does the water affect any of that? Because it just seems like every time it's just, especially the one that got me standing out was the one that started in, West Nashville Tune Airport, went all the way up the Cumberland River to Cookeville.
That one, or when you get over these bodies of water, it doesn't impact. I mean, people would think it would, but you still get, because it becomes a water spout when it goes over water. Yeah. There's really no exact scientific answer on that other than luck of the draw right now.
Okay, well, dang, I thought I was onto something, man.
But you know what?
My book, I got to call my publisher.
Go with it. Just go with it, and then, one day maybe the theory in your book will be proven wrong. But, right now, just take it. Run with it.
Yeah, don't let facts get in the way of a good story, right? A few more moments with Henry Rothenberg here, one-on-one with Greg Pogue, right here on 94.9 The Fan. Got a few more moments. 101 with Greg Pogue, Henry Rothenberg, our guest, meteorologist. News Channel 5. I don't know why I Googled you, and this is May 5th at 5:54 in the morning.
Okay.
Unsettled pattern the next several days. And we are in desperate need of liquid sunshine.
We are.
And multiple opportunities for showers. Yeah, blah, blah, blah.
Wait, I said liquid sunshine?
This is right there. That's you. Did you write that? It says by Henry Rothenberg.
Oh, you know what?
Did somebody write that for you? AI?
You know what?
Is that AI?
No, that's I bet you because that was
years ago?
So I updated that one, but that was from the Nikki D writing in the morning because she always writes liquid sunshine. So, but I updated the parts that need, like, when we update the forecast on the web, we're not going to rewrite the whole thing. We're just going to make sure it's towards the forecast time frame.
Keep rolling it.
So, and I remember reading, if she did it that morning, I'm like, okay, well, that paragraph still works. So the liquid sunshine, I'm like, I don't think I've ever typed that. That's what I was like, yeah, because it says, I can tell that was one that was updated. I updated for the overnight time frame.
Well, I don't know why that came up. I just said
because you just want to say liquid sunshine.
Yeah, well, I can add a drink for $1 with my Minute Maid and breakfast sandwich there right at the bottom. So, Cats, we're going to Clarksville, man.
We're going up to Clarksville. It's going to be a great day. I'm excited for it. It's going to be a warm and humid day, so a good day to be inside. Coming up to the Cats game, y'all still got some tickets available, so folks, walk on up. It's kind of nice to have a sport that doesn't break the bank.
That's right. That's the kids, the families. That's what it's about, and they get the experience of being at a pro sporting event. We throw a party and hope a football game breaks out.
Yeah,
that's our.
It's just exciting, and y'all are honoring the history of when it was the Sound Cats, the original AFL team. But going with the Cats now and being up in Clarksville. If you haven't been to F&M Bank Arena. And I'm not saying this is a plug. I'm not being paid to say this at all. I've been up there a number of times.
I saw you wolf down that biscuit. So you're being paid.
But no, that is such a great venue.
It's a mini Bridgestone Arena.
Yeah, and it's just a wonderful venue.
It's run by the Predators.
Yeah, and
you having fun?
I'm having a great time. It's always fun hanging out with you, man.
No, not now, but in general.
In general, I'm having fun.
This may be the best hour of your life. I get it, but just
you know what? I am. We've got having my folks moving here is going to be great. Work with incredible people, great team, everybody on the weather team, Leland, Brittany, Katie, Nikki D. Heather still fills in even though she's talking to the town, and Matt, they're great people. Nashville is just – it's such a great city. We've got so much going on. And if you're not taking advantage of it, you're missing out.
In Scripps, we didn't even get into that. That's what all of you guys are going to have all the Predators games.
Scripps Sports, yes.
Scripps Sports, I know.
Scripps Sports
there's a lot of things I can't say,
but when
it comes to arena football and the Cats.
Yeah.
But, we're in play.
And I love it because Scripps
Sports, that, right?
Scripps Sports, I won't confirm or deny anything, but Scripps Sports is doing great things. I mean, Scripps is – They are 150-something years old. It started, as print. And where we are now is fantastic. And I'm really grateful to work for a company that is trying to evolve as we continue to see this transition in media and sees the value in local
Channel
sports.
28, The Point, right?
The Spot.
Like I said, The Spot.
So it's currently Ion. Ion's going to be reconfigured to a different
like I said,
channel.
The Spot.
Yeah, The Spot. But, man, it's going to be a great time.
Yeah.
And it's what's old is new again. The games are free. It's over the air.
Oh, I know.
Don't need cable.
Thanks, Henry.
Thank you, man. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, Henry Rothenberg, our guest. Let's go to Clarksville. You ready?
Let's do it.
Let's take that first train to Clarksville. All right,
Go Cats.
Cats this afternoon. Everybody, hey, thank Jake Steigelfest, producer. Everybody have a great rest of your weekend.